Welcome everyone to another iteration of FarfaCast. Today we have three of the toppers and as well, of course, the winner from YCS Niagara Falls. And we're just going to be going over, everything. So welcome everyone, introduce yourselves. Let's begin with Gabe. Hello, hi.
Hi.
Would you like to introduce yourself and say anything?
Oh, I'm Gabe. What what else am I supposed to say?
Okay, yeah, you're Gabe. The current national champion, maybe you thought you'd want to plug that kind of information in. You know,
Yeah.
I felt that was maybe a relevant time to mention that, but sure. Okay.
Yeah, I won Nats.
Yes. Okay. Azad, you do a better job of this. Come on.
Okay, okay, so I'm Azad, and I played the shitty striker deck, and I probably won't make that mistake again.
Okay, nice. Janko.
Hi, I'm Marjanco Gorgievski. I'm a Michigan player. I'm sponsored by RW Hobbies, and I have a couple tops under my belt. So.
Wow, he did way better than everybody else.
Yes, he did.
That's
Yeah.
impressive. Oh, hold on. I have a really cute dog.
There you go. What's his name?
Wait, Janko, how many tops do you have?
I think this was the 8th one.
Fuck. Is that how many?
Hold on.
What do we count?
YCS and Nationals.
Hey, you're the only band player here, Azad.
Then I'm at 4.
Yeah, I'm at 4.
Do you guys count ARGs in the States, right?
I mean, like, I count, like, the ARG Nats, but, like, that's probably it.
See, I was taught to never count ARGs. At least
Hey,
that's what Jesse told me.
Azad, you were the only band player here.
Yes, sure, I was banned.
What'd you get banned for?
Oh my god, we're not gonna get into this.
Okay, maybe we'll do that later. All right. So anyway, let's just begin straight off talking some generally about the format and stuff going into this event. So we had the YCS Utrecht, and I guess that kind of set the tone for the new ban list and stuff. But this was the first major event with the new ban list and the new set. So what were your guys' like initial thoughts when you had like finally, seen the results from Utrecht and you knew some of the cards that were going to be in Soul Fusion? Like, how did you think that was going to shape up? The biggest thing to talk about, I guess, would probably be Thunder Dragons, but I guess we'll go into details there. But as a general overview, like going into this event, like how did you guys feel about the format itself, and what were some of the strengths and weaknesses you saw in the different decks? Azad, do you want to start off?
Yeah, I actually thought that the format got worse after Thunder Dragon came out. So like if we look back at like the 200th, I thought the format was like just a lot better than I feel like Thunder Dragon is just like a very I guess you could say like I don't want to say degenerate, but I just don't like the idea of just like it's kind of just like a new masterpiece deck. That's kind of just how I see it. But yeah, I definitely think like the 200th like shaped the meta a little bit, but then it like kind of just changed a lot when Soul Fusion came out.
Gabe?
Yeah. Goki's a cool deck.
You haven't dropped that deck. You haven't let it go. Like, why is that?
I see more.
Yeah, you just haven't dropped it at all.
No, there's no reason to.
Okay.
I just knew that I need to stop searching as much when the Thunder Dragons came out. That's about it.
All right. Stop searching as much. Solid.
I knew I need to play Mali.
I almost called you Denko. Janko.
Oh, I used to get that a lot.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. Right.
But so I thought this format was going into this event. It was kind of like a mess for me. I tried playing everything: Goki, Sky Striker, Thunder Dragons, and then finally, like 20, maybe it was not even like 12 hours before we left for the event, and Jeff was like, "Yeah, I'm doing this OTK thing with this FTK thing with Dangers and Heroes," and I'd been playing the Hero deck for like I don't know, like 2-3 weeks previous to the Thunder Dragon deck coming out, and I really liked like how it could play through hand traps, and then when I saw that like the FTK could do it so much easier and through so many things with all the danger cards, I was just sold on it. And I played against the Thunder deck. I was playing the Thunder Dragon deck against Jeff, and he just beat the crap out of me like over and over again through like Titans, Colossuses, and I was like, well, if this is how my matchups are going to go at the YCS, I'll just play this.
I didn't get a chance to see Jeff's list. Did you guys play card for card, the same list?
No. I didn't know his list card for card going into it, and I ended up playing like I knew what needed to be in the deck for the FTK and the general ratios, but not exact. So then the rest was kind of like my own.
So he shared the combo with you, just not the list.
Not the exact list, but he told me that like 3 of what danger cards and whatnot.
Okay.
I didn't. Yeah. The majority was his though. Yeah.
So for the talk a bit more about Soul Fusion, I guess let's just like dive a little bit deeper into Thunder Dragons. Who have you tested that deck properly, and what were your thoughts on it for this event?
The Thunder Dragon deck?
Oh, are you asking me first?
Just whoever.
Well, I can go first.
Yeah.
I played with the Thunder Dragon deck and against it a lot with Richard Waddle, one of my teammates, and Jeff played it against me to show me like what it did at the beginning, and I was playing against it with Sky Striker at first, and I just could not beat it. I realized like even if I like Widow Anchored them the first turn and I couldn't deal with the Thunder Dragon, it was still going to be a reoccurring problem for me. So I quickly like fell out of love with the Sky Striker deck and didn't think that it was going to be a good choice going into like a 11-round event or something that this was going to be.
Yeah, I played against 4 Thunder Dragon. The game 1s were not fun at all. I lost like almost every single game 1 except like one of them where I just open broken and went second and like had Bell and everything and like 2 anchors and like 2 engaged. Like I don't know, like that matchup is just unwinnable. Game 1, like absolutely unwinnable. And when you go first, it's like kind of fine, but it's still just not in your favor. Like after sideboarding, it's a lot easier. Like looking back, like I did side 3 Medion for the matchup, but that's just not enough. I think that like if you want to play Sky Striker moving forward, you need to side like 3 Medion and 3 Forbidden Apocrypha, or else you just like can't beat that deck consistently, at least.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. When I saw your deck list that you in the chat, I thought that like a huge strength that you had and what gave you the edge against the Thunder Dragon deck was the Medions and the Forbidden Apocryphas.
When you were like you talked about how awful the matchup was for you game 1. Why didn't you just play the deck if it was that strong?
I went into the YCS and read the Thunder Dragon cards round 1.
Okay, so you didn't have much preparation. You kind of just went with like something standard and like staple. That would just be
I played a few matches against Thunder Dragons and like I guess it was just somebody who just didn't know what they were doing, like ended on 1 Colossus and I'm just like, oh, Anchor, this deck sucks. And then I'm just like playing against Thunder Dragon round 1. He's just like, summon 3 Colossus, your turn. Like, this doesn't work. My Widow Anchor strategy isn't working out.
Gabe, did you play around with Thunder Dragons? Oh, we can't hear you.
Better?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, yeah, I didn't play test again for this event. People don't know to take me seriously or not, but I was serious. Hani's watching this chat, but like I was serious. He gave me a list and I'm like, cool. Friday I got to my hotel and me and a friend of mine who top 16 with the same list. We literally just added Dolphin to the deck and that was it.
Wow, poor Hani.
There's this weird trend I've noticed. I honestly truly believe that the less you practice for an event, the better you do. Like I just everyone that I speak to on these shows always says like, yeah, I didn't test. Like I read this card first, like round 1, and like you guys seem to win in top. So maybe that's the new strategy. So you didn't practice at all with Thunder Dragons. You didn't like you were always set on Goki, right?
I was always set on Goki, but like I didn't test, but I knew that like against Thunder Dragon, I just needed like Firewall bounce like the monsters and leave one in attack mode, and then just underclock and kill it. Underclock and then try gate, do the double damage with Firewall, and that would be game. So
Yeah,
thought that was
I
pretty
also like
straightforward.
played a lot with Striker before, so like I felt comfortable with it. I just didn't know. Like the Thunder Dragon matchup isn't even like something that you have to test for with Striker. It's kind of just like you have it, you have it, you don't have it, you don't have it. So I don't know.
Is game one like literally like draw anchor or lose?
Yes, yes. It
Okay.
actually just
Sometimes
did.
like even one anchor isn't even enough if they have like
Yeah, no.
multiple
Yeah.
of them.
Nobody's
It's just, like, a
summoning
bad
one
game.
Colossus. Nobody's summoning one Colossus.
It's always like double
Well-
Colossus and a Titan and stuff, right?
Yeah, well, what I'm actually doing a lot is you actually just like if you open Ray, you're kind of fine. You just go like Ray, Hayate, attack directly, and then like a lot of times I just like leave my Hayate there so that I can like get 3 spells in graveyard, and then like they have no way to like kill Hayate without triggering Ray, so you just Kagari, and then you Kagari your anchor back. And then you just kind of, once you have 3 spells in grave, a lot of people just like leave their big monsters up and you just take them all and then cheese them and attack for game with their monsters.
Okay.
Somebody asking, how is Forbidden Apocrypha better than Dimensional Barrier? Dimensional Barrier. Because it actually gets rid of the monsters. Negating them like just isn't enough. Like, if you Widow Anchor the monster and you don't have 3 spells in graveyard, that still just doesn't do anything. Like, you have to, like, search an Afterburner. I've actually had to do, like, so many times. Like, it's, like, just negating the monster and negating Colossus just isn't enough. Like, you have to... Or else it's just gonna still be there, and you have to anchor it again next turn. You just don't have that many cards. Like, if you could choose your opening hand, sure, but... We don't
when
do
I was
that.
playtesting for the event, and I was playing Pure Striker against the Thunder Dragon deck, like one of the things that I ended up like trying out was main decking Mind Control, because you could take one of their Colossus and try to deal with it with a multi-roll or a field spell.
Still just not enough.
Yeah, because if you just
Nobody
had Widow
summons
Anchor,
one.
like if you couldn't deal with it, it was staying and it was gonna kill you next turn.
So the guy who asked why I played Double Mermaid, it's because you just end on it instead of like double link for your bow.
We'll be getting into the specifics of their deck list and stuff real soon. But just rounding off the kind of general Soul Fusion discussion and stuff. Was there any notable cards that came out in this set that you guys tried to implement into any of your decks or tested beforehand?
Snake.
The snake, yeah.
Snake boy.
And obviously Marjanco played like a whole bunch of the new dangers and stuff, but maybe a little bit more general. Did you guys like try out Prankatrops, for example? Did you like what did you see any application to that when that was first released?
I tried that in the Pure Striker deck, and at first I thought that I could special summon Pinkatrops and during my opponent's turn as well. I thought it was a quick effect where I could summon it and then tribute it to kill whatever, and I thought it was just a much better Ghost Ogre. And then over time I saw that it was good against Altergeist, but at the event I just ended up playing evenly matched instead, because I figured I can evenly them and leave them with 1 card and then still F2K them in main phase 2 with the Cannon Soldier.
Yeah, so we were actually talking about Pankratops before right before the event in the hotel room, and it was like between that or Typhoon, because we were actually deciding it for like spot removal for like back row, and it kind of just occurred that it was like a less reliable out. Like it had like more application, and it was just like it was like more of a blanket card, but like it was like a less reliable out to the cards that we needed to out, like Secret Village. Like it can out Secret Village, but it won't be able to do it all the time. Like if they have protocol, it's not outing Secret. So just like stuff like that. It did more, but it was like less reliable for like the applications that we needed it for. So we just went with Typhoon instead.
All right. There was one other card I thought that was pretty impactful. Trap Trick is a new card that was released in Soul Fusion.
I played against that deck.
Yes, you did. Did you guys ever consider building a deck around this? Was it ever on the radar? Kind of, oh, this is cool. Maybe like we could side something cool with this, or was that ever like thought about at all for you guys?
So
Goki.
for me, if Medion, like, let's say if like Medion just like didn't exist and I was doing Apocrypha instead, I would probably use Trap Trick just for extra copies of Apocrypha. And if I think like the Thunder Dragon matchup is like really, 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 really worth siding like 7 to 9 cards against, then I would probably just do 3 Trap Trick and 3 Apocrypha.
Yeah, Apocrypha is really good against the Thunder Dragon deck, I found. But
Yeah, I think like Striker needs all of the cards it can to like side against that deck, and it sucks because like the cards that you side in against Thunder Dragon like just can't go in against like any other deck. So like you're dedicating like those 6 slots to Thunder Dragon and only Thunder Dragon, and then like then that you also just have to side more hand traps for like the FTK deck and the Goki deck, and that just like takes away the space that you were siding for like back row removal for like Geist or Draco when they flip Rivalry or goes in. So it's getting a lot harder to side with Striker.
we're going to be taking a little look here. I'm just trying to bring it up on screen now. So we're going to be going through each of their deck lists now. Let's see, there it is. Okay. Yeah, so I've got up on screen now. We've got Marjanco's list. It's a bit of a, when you first glance at this, it's hard to tell what's going on here. But you played FTK. Give us a brief overview over what this is.
So basically, the first row of cards, the Armageddon Knight, the Dark Greffers, the Vions, or all your starter cards. If you started with any one of those, you had the FTK. It's just a 1 card. The deck list, along with the combo, is posted on our RIW YouTube channel, where I show you guys how to do it. But also, the rest of the cards, there were 15 danger monsters. All of those are extenders that worked really well to extend your plays through hand traps. It's something that I noticed this event through the whole thing. When I was going first, I was barely ever getting hand trapped to begin with because everyone took their hand traps out of their deck in like preparation for striker mirrors and whatnot. And so I realized, and the ones that they left in their decks that are good against Thunder don't really do much against the deck that I chose to play. Like Ash, if I had any other extender, I just could push through it and still FTK. Bell, if they bell your Firewall the first time, you bounce it back with Unicorn, and then you just summon it again, and then you make a good board. You don't have to FTK. You just end down like Trigate and Gumblar pitching 4 cards out of their hand. So there's just like so much that the deck could do, even against like every hand trap. If you start with Armageddon Knight or Dark Greffer, there's not a single point where you add cards from your deck to your hand, so you can't even get drolled.
Yeah, I noticed that Ogre seemed to be one of the good cards against that deck. I played against Max. I know his build was a little bit different than yours, but there was like always just a point in his combo where like ogering the Summon Sorceress was just like, it's just so hard to recover from that. Like, were you ever able to like push through Ogre on Summon Sorceress, or do you think that like your deck is like...
I got Ghost Ogre round 2 on Summon Sorceress. Right there. That was the one card I could deal with.
Yeah. So I actually didn't main Ghost Ogre. I think a lot of people took Ghost Ogre out of their deck last second, so that probably put you guys in a really good position, because that card is actually just like a blank against Thunder Dragon. It just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it does, and it's not like the only thing that it does in striker matchup is deal with multi-roll, and that's not like, there's better ways to deal with it, I think. So.
Yeah.
Did you guys like know about this at all? Like Gabe and Azad, like were you guys aware there was like an FTK in the format, or?
No, absolutely not. Nope. It was just very surprising.
I heard about it. I'm like, yo, I heard about the end of day 1. I'm like, yo, I better not play this. In round 10, I play against Janko, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I think any rational person would have played it if they knew about it like before the event. So I think everybody that didn't play it didn't know about it, or else they would have been just playing it.
I mean, I wouldn't have played it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Goki. So, quick little story. My friend, when I learned about the deck and I started playing it, we were playtesting at my house on Thursday night, and I was like, playing an FTK kind of feels nice. I haven't played one since Frog FTK like 10 years ago. And Richard Waddle just starts laughing hysterically, and he's like, "Are you even kidding me?" He goes, "You played Goki for 6 months. That's basically an
Oh
FTK."
yeah, people who like
So,
say
yeah.
Goki isn't an FTK deck are so wild. It doesn't have to burn you on the first turn to like FTK you. It's like
For base 6 with
100%
a
an
Tri-Gate
FTK
is
deck.
definitely an FTK.
Yeah. So Marjanco, a little bit more about your list here. Just gonna bring it up once more. You mentioned in your profile that you'd basically cut like all the dark worlds, like other than like the necessary ones.
Mhm.
How did you end up playing like so many? Like, because in the
Well,
end, like
I
as you said in the
literally got-
profile, you literally just need like the Grapha loop basically, and that's you there.
Yeah, if you had you dump all of them through the Getting. All you need is one of the small ones in Grappa, and I literally started playing the deck Thursday night at around maybe 12 o'clock, midnight. So it'd be like literally Friday night at 12 a.m. And I was just like, I didn't have that much playtesting. Richard didn't want to playtest against me because I was playing FTK. And I just went with like what I knew Jeff. Jeff had more experience with the deck than me, and he told me like a little bit about the ratios on those. And then with the small amount of testing that I had, I realized that I like the smaller Dark World monsters that much. So I ended up cutting the Brow to 2 to put in a World Legacy Succession. And that card was amazing for me. And already I've changed up my list at home to like now I'm down to just the 2 Dark World monsters, and I'm playing like I think it was 6 cards that I took out. 6 more extenders in my deck.
So is it literally just one snow, one Grapha now?
Yeah, because if the snow gets pitched by one of the danger monsters, you can search the graph line that just shortcuts you to the combo even more.
All right.
I do have a question. About Called by the Grave. Did that ever like conflict with the danger monsters at all? Like if you drew Called by the Grave with the danger monsters, like what would you normally do in that scenario? Would you like
I'd have
take
to
the
just.
L and set it?
So the thing is, the hand traps are really, really impactful when you start off with like. Basically, I always wanted to start off with Armageddonite, Dark Grepher, or Vion,
Yeah.
and those are the cards. Or like along that route is when they would hand trap me. So I figured if I started with one of those, I wouldn't need to. You don't need to use any of the danger monsters. So I would just shove through that portion of the combo with the Called by the Grave, and then if I didn't have them, then I would just end up having to try and go for a danger monster effect, and if it gets pitched, it gets pitched.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I could see that. But like, if you just didn't draw like Grepher or Armageddon, like did that happen where you just didn't draw Grepher or Armageddon Knight with the Called by the Grave?
I actually never even drew Called this weekend.
Oh, I mean, yeah, 60 card deck doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
60 cards inside it. But no, I assume that like at some point in the tournament that would have happened. But there was literally just no cards that were better for going first. I thought about
Yeah.
like Magical Midbreaker Field, but something that you have to do with the combo is when you give that in my deck. Jeff doesn't play Mare, but with my deck, I have to give them Ibli, and then I have to play Yazi kill the Ibli. And
Oh,
with
I
Magical
see.
Midbreaker Field, I wouldn't be able to target it. So.
Oh, also, Drag Down. Did you guys think about playing Drag Down?
No, I don't like that card that much. And like I said, like hand traps, the only one that really does much against you is the Ghost Ogre. Everything else you can just push through.
Well,
So
I assume
easily.
like Ogre Gamma, kind of like same card. I think those are going to be in a lot of
Yeah.
people's decks going forward.
Yeah, I agree.
And like that might make Drag Down like a better card because I don't like because they're not gonna like use Ghost Ogre on like Armageddon Knight normal summon, so you could like normal summon Armageddon Knight then use Drag Down.
Yeah, you're right. I think there's definitely potential for like drag down or even exchange, how like they did in Goki.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Would you ever
Drag Down's
consider
hot.
play? Sorry, go ahead, Gabe.
Drag Down's hot. I like that card.
Sniping the hand traps. Would you ever consider
Oh,
playing less
yeah.
than 60?
While playing the 5 equip spells, probably not. Especially because like you don't. It's not a problem if you draw Mare because you can summon Reaper and change your firewall until Worm, and then summon a Mare like that. But then you, like I said, there's 5 equip spells. You have the Ibli that you don't want to draw. The Blackwing monsters, like Cloak, you don't really want to draw. Zephyros, you can pitch off any of the Nightmare monsters off Greffer and whatnot.
Can Mare be summoned from hand?
No.
It can be summoned from every summoned
Okay.
by a worm monster.
Oh, I see.
You
I
can
see.
tribute summon it.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, can you hard summon it?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I just had to like go read it. I was like, I swear there's an effect that says it can't be special summoned somehow.
You can't
Yeah.
tribute summon it. Yeah, it has to be special by the effect of a worm.
Yeah, you still.
No, you could tribute summon it. You could tribute summon it. I remember Nishad
Oh.
doing that a lot.
Yeah,
He just,
then the Shaw told me about that.
yeah, you just like tribute summon it. It makes our use shit.
I
Okay.
have to read Mare right now because people are telling me it can only be summoned from the deck.
You can summon it from anywhere as long as it's by the effect of
Yeah.
a worm.
I was gonna say I probably cheated a bunch of.
Shout out to Milano. He's the real reason why I topped. By the way, guys, Milano.
For the oh shit, what was it? Yeah, so we went over the Dark Worlds. Yeah, can you tell us a little bit more about the dangers? Like, was it literally just to put like more bodies on the field for the links, or like how important?
If you get hand trapped, they just draw you into more things, draw you into more of your combo pieces, and they're just extenders because you play so many cards that you want to see in the graveyard. My picture got a lot darker because one of my laptops. There we go. Because you play so many cards that you want in the PKs, the Dark World monsters, and whatnot. They just got them in there and extended your plays by like each time you summoned one, it sent another monster to grave that you wanted there that could further your play. So it was technically like getting 2 monsters and a draw. So they just extended the plays.
I have a question from Coffee Table Zero. Do you think Striker will make a comeback after Thunder Dragon starts having less representation?
Don't worry, Azad's we're gonna be going like through each like deck, and then we'll have like more specific stuff. So I'm just trying to like keep it structured.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Just keep that question in mind. Like we will get to.
later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that
So
Benjamin Slutsky?
I see people
all my
asking
friends are rating
if,
the
Droll,
chat.
if Droll do anything and does anything against the FTK, and there's 2 different versions of the FTK. There's a 40 card version that Max and Dirk played, and then there's the 60 card versions that me and Jeff played. Against the 60 card version, Droll doesn't do anything if you start with the Armageddon Knight, Dark Greffer, or the Bions. However, against the 40 card version, it just ends for each other. So.
Yeah, I did play against Max, and his deck was like a lot different than yours. I think it was like 40 cards. Did he play the Warriors in his deck?
No, he just played straight
he just played a lot of like he just played a lot of dangers. Yeah, he was just like summoning Dogman and making the rank 7 Tomahawk.
Yeah.
It's like it seemed like Tomahawk itself was just the FTK.
Yeah,
So I think Max was just playing a Tomahawk deck.
All right. I think we're gonna we'll bring up Azad's list up here now. So that should be up on screen. So you went with the striker deck, and
Yes, I did.
well, give us a little bit of a rundown over, why you felt that this was the best striker list for the event.
Okay, best striker list. Going back, this was actually just not the best striker list for the event. I don't think I should have played Jamming Waves. Shared Ride, I don't know if that should have even been in my deck. Definitely not at 3.
How was
There's
it?
no Apocryphas in this list. Is this
Yes, I also should have decided Apocrypha over Typhoon. I think I 100% like I thought Thunder Dragon would have a lot less representation than it did. I played against like a lot of Thunder Dragon. I lost game 1 to like almost all of them.
I really didn't expect the deck to have that much representation. Like, I thought it was an
I didn't
okay
expect
deck,
it to have
but
that much representation either, because I just didn't hear people talking about it. I heard like I didn't hear any people any good people like talking about playing it. So like I really just didn't respect it that much. I respected it enough to take Ogre out of my deck and put Bell in instead, but again, like if I were to play Striker moving forward, there has to be 3 Medion and 3 Forbidden Apocrypha in my side deck, and then maybe even Trap Trick for Forbidden Apocrypha just for like an extra copy of it.
so bringing back your list up on the screen here. Yeah, so you went with 3 roll in the main.
Yeah, I think 3 roll is like mandatory, like 100%
I
mandatory.
saw your profile. I don't get
Well,
it.
I can't believe people just don't play 3 multi-roll. That's just such a good card. I can't I never don't want that card in my opening hand.
How do you
Someone
feel about?
asks,
Go ahead.
someone asked if do you think the OCG Thunder Dragon and like what the difference is and why Striker does so much more.
Yes, that was
than
actually just like a big reason why I didn't respect Thunder Dragon that much, because it just wasn't performing well in OCG when or it wasn't performing that well in OCG when Striker had like a worse Striker deck than we currently do, right?
Yeah, I think it's hard to compare like formats so much because Maxi is so defining. Like I remember in like Zoo format when we had it in the formats and like whatnot. Just that card does have like the sole impact on the format to be able to like de-barrier a combo deck, and it's what probably allows Sky Striker to do so well in the OCG.
Do you think you'd still be running Twister after this event? It just seems very weak against all these decks that have dropped
I
on.
think this becomes like a side deck problem. So I think you still have to main Twin Twister even though it's just so bad, just because there's just no room in your side deck for it and you just can't go without playing it. Even when I play against like Goki, or like a lot of times there's just so many cards that I would want to take out against Goki, like going second or whatever, that I actually just end up leaving Twin Twister in because it's like the best bad card against them. Because if you brick, let's say or if you hand trap Goki and then you get a turn and Twin Twister gives you an extra way to play, because you actually can just end up Twin Twistering your own area 0 if it comes down to it. Because when you play against Goki, as long as you can play, you're going to win. Well, usually, because once you stop them, I just I can't see Goki winning after they're stopped by Striker specifically. Because once you get them, once you hand trap them, get them down to some cards and just set 2 anchors or even 1 anchor, the deck just can't push through it after that. I think every turn that you go into the game, Goki's chance of winning gets smaller. Each turn that passes.
I completely agree. I played that deck for a while, and I think that that's what I noticed was.
So you can afford to twin twist against Goki, you can afford to Twin Twister your own area 0. This is last resort option if you have no other way to play. Twin Twister was the last card that I took out against Goki, which I usually just kept in 1 or 2 against Goki because like I just thought it was like the best bad card to keep in going second, because like at least it has like the chance of giving you a way to play if you like absolutely can't play.
Did you answer? Did you get a chance to answer the question you were asked earlier about Striker?
Oh, it was. Hold on, let me think. I'd have to scroll up. Do you think Striker might be good if Thunder Dragons are? If Thunder, okay. Now that Thunder have such a high representation, well, okay, no, that was the question. I think the question was, oh wait, no, actually, I'm about to find it. I'm so sorry.
That's
I'm
fine.
looking for... Okay, Azad, do you think Striker will make a comeback after the Thunder Dragon starts having less representation? I do not think Thunder Dragon is going to have less representation at all. I think like the number of Thunder Dragon you're going to play at a tournament is only going to get higher and higher and higher. I think Striker is. I don't want to say it's like dead. It's just not what it was at the 200th, and it's definitely not what it was at Niagara Falls.
So, any final points to add to your about your list here?
Yeah. So, I guess like it's just gonna be very, very hard like to play it moving forward. I think like the biggest problem is going to be side decking, because there's going to be so many cards that that you have to put in your side deck. I think you have to put like at least 6 cards in against Thunder Dragon, or you have to have 6 cards like designated for Thunder Dragon, and then like I think you still have to play the ogres and the gammas. Those definitely still have to be in your side deck for the FTK decks and the Goki decks. I think you definitely have to like main in permanence or something, just because it's like the most blanket hand trap, and I don't think you get away with maining 6 hand traps right now. And then that kind of creates problems, because you want to take these cards like Shared Ride and Twin Twister out of your main deck, but then if you do that, you only have 3 spots left in your side deck to answer all of the other decks, like the Striker Mirror or Altergeist or Trickstar. Yeah, so it's definitely going to be tough playing Striker moving forward.
All right, so let's finally get onto your list, Gabe, and we now have that up on screen here.
Yeah, I did wear a dress to a regional. I lost a bet.
Do you want to give us like a kind of brief rundown over why this specific list here, and kind of
I think
more?
I sent you the wrong. Oh, whoops.
Have you sent me the wrong list? Okay, you sent me.
Okay, it's just one change. Junk forward for a trap.
Which trap was it?
The PK trap.
Oh, so it was 3 of the traps.
Yeah, it was 3 traps instead of 2
Okay.
junk forward.
All right.
Yeah, one thing I actually noticed about
try fix
the
that up just
download
now.
link on Dueling Book is that if you
updates.
make changes, yeah, it updates when you change your deck.
Mm-hmm.
So the link is kind of weird.
So everybody, if you want the update, you know how to add another junk forward and take out a trap.
Yeah, if you want the updated list, you got it.
So you played 3 the trap card and 1 forward. So
Yeah.
40 total. Okay.
No, 41. It was 41.
Was it 41?
Yeah.
Gabe, something I realized in my deck list in years is Dark Grepher was much better than Again. So like
Sorry,
summon
you're
in.
cutting out for me for some reason. I couldn't hear any of that.
I said something that I realized in my list. Maybe you had the same experience.
Wait,
With
why
the
is my
Dark
list
Graphic?
wrong? Wait, why is my list wrong in that? No, I played 2 Armageddonite and 1 Danger Tsukinoko. That's what's missing from that.
So the 1 switch is what's missing.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Maybe if you send me the right list, Gabe.
I did. I swear. It updated
Okay.
for some reason.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
what were you
Go
saying?
on,
Sorry.
Marjanco.
So I was
Oh,
saying
wait,
with my deck,
why is this wrong? I also didn't play Overdone Burial.
Oh no.
God. You know what? I give up. Right. We're not showing Gabe's list today. All right. So Janko, yes, go ahead.
yeah, in my deck, I realized that like I had a lot more success when I was summoning Dark Grepher. You felt the same with your deck, like over Armageddon Night.
You had more success when you summoned Armageddon Knight.
Yeah, like no, I liked and enjoyed like drawing Greffer more because I could like pitch the other dark monsters like the PKs
Oh
if I
yeah,
drew a
yeah.
melee or whatnot. I was wondering if you had the same experience with like your deck.
Yeah, drawing Greffer and Nessie is like the best hand, basically. It was always just insane. Like Armageddon was like cool, but like whenever I wrote it, I could always get Greffer. Like Greffer just got me so much more advantage, especially when you open like Mally.
Yeah, every time I wrote it for Greffer.
Mm-hmm.
How come you chose this deck? Like, just in general, like, why did you decide to stick to Goki?
Well, I was like sticking to Goki regardless, but like I knew like I had to deal with Thunder Dragons now. So Hani, who's in the chat, like Goki God, is like this is how you beat Thunder Dragons, and it's just so consistent. I even prefer this over like the old Goki list because like it plays through Ash like it's nothing. Well, I think the reason why I like this deck so much more than before is because I play 3 equips, which could be 4. Might have been, it probably should have been 4. And you just summon Dolphin, and you just you beat Ogre because you never will get Ogred on your summon sword, which is like huge. I didn't get Ogred once because I always summoned the Dolphin, and they're forced to Ogre the Dolphin, and I just pushed with extenders.
Yeah, I learned to that actually happened to me at a regional, and like if they send 3 equips off of the if they send 3 equips off of Isolde, like you can't even like take the chance there. You'd probably just have to ogre the Isolde.
Yeah, something I noticed is like people also ogre my Isolde a lot, like the first effect, and then I just make a second one and just go off.
Yeah. I think that like if they send 3, well, I guess they could be summoning the PK guy, but I'm still like unsure what to do in that scenario. But I think you'd like have to ogre the Isolde,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people are just sending 3, and then like you kind of just have to guess, like, are they summoning Dolphin or are they summoning the PK guy? If they summon Dolphin, like you're in a really bad spot. But then if you ogre it and they summon the PK guy, you're probably also in a bad spot. So
Yeah, exactly. Somebody asked, where is it?
just ogre the
I,
summon stork. The reason why you can't do that, sorry Gabe, the reason why you can't do that is because they summon Aqua Dolphin off of the Isolde and just rip the ogre out, and then you have to ogre the Aqua Dolphin at that point, which just sucks. So that's how they play around ogre.
mhm. Somebody asked me how do I beat the Thunder Dragon matchup when how do I win when they summon multiple Colossus? You basically just don't search. Like yeah, if you open like a Nessie or Rhoda, it's like when drawing Rhoda is super bad against Colossus. Obviously, you play with full cards, but if you like play like playable with a bunch of monsters, you can just like summon a bunch of Mallies, get to the firewall with Summon Sword, and basically get to the point where you have Mermaid, Firewall, and like a bounce, and like you can bounce a Colossus, and then Underclock, use its effect, make a Colossus 0. And if you have an extra monster, you easily get to Trigate, and that's just game over a Colossus because it's 0 attack. What's 100 attack?
Can
And
you
double
guys hear me
damage.
like well throughout the whole thing?
You're kind of choppy, like you kind of cut off,
Yeah,
like
you cut out a
occasionally.
little bit.
Jeez, I don't know what that is. But, yeah, one of my friends messaged me saying like you're pretty.
Yeah. Gabe,
Mhm.
why not just like cut some of the cards, like Rhoda, for example?
Well, Rhoda's just insane. I would never cut Rhoda.
But yeah, just because like if like Thunder Dragon is like popular and stuff, like it's just a
I mean, I
card.
just don't think Rhoda is a
it,
cuttable card.
it
That
honestly
card,
wasn't
that
that
card's
popular.
crazy.
Like it was popular. Okay, it was popular. I just didn't play against. I played against one.
Oh really? You played one?
Yeah, I played against Geist and Striker. Hold on, I have my matchups on my phone. I'll look and see.
For the whole, is
Um,
this even for the whole tournament? Like not just in
yeah,
Swiss?
no,
Like
I played one in total
wow.
the whole tournament.
Really?
1, 2, 3. I played 4 Geist, 1 Paleo, 1 Thunder Dragon, 2 Goki, 2 Dark FTKs, and like 3 or 4 Striker.
That's such a crazy tournament. 4 Geist?
4 guys, yeah.
That's so crazy. I played
I'm
against
like, thank-
no Geist. I played against 0 of them.
I'm like, thank God I main twin.
What was
Can you
what's
guys
like?
hear me better now, or is it still choppy?
I can hear you.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good now. What's your deck's hardest matchup?
My deck?
Yeah.
The mirror, because I lose die rolls.
Okay. I mean, other
Oh
than
right, did you not main any hand traps?
No, hand traps are for pussies. I'll forever stand by
Can
that.
you what's like can you play hand traps with the danger cards? That shouldn't affect anything, no.
Like,
Wait, did you side hand traps?
yeah, I didn't side enough though. Like, I got lucky in the final, really. It's on Ash.
And Ash was enough.
Yeah, because I ashed the card destruction and I sniped every danger out of his hand, so he kept on negging and he passed on the dweller.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Like, I sniped 2 of the dangers and he ended, like, he couldn't do anything. I was, like, super lucky. Like, I'm pretty sure it was, yeah, I had a 25% chance of hitting the danger and then a 33% chance, and, like, I hit it.
Damn.
That's crazy. That's a crazy way to win finals. That is definitely a crazy way to win finals.
I definitely should have made more, because, like, you know, mirrors are scary. Like, I almost lost a mirror, and then in top 32, I played a mirror, but I won the Daryl, so, like, fortunate for me, but that's Yu-Gi-Oh! Now. So.
That's like kind of the reason why I'm inclined to stay on Striker, because it's like the only deck that can fit like a lot of hand traps in it and still be able to play and like not brick on them. But it's just gonna be so hard trying to like make the deck function.
Under Thunder Dragons, I guess, yeah.
Well, against Thunder Dragon, I kind of have that matchup solved. You just take the L game 1 and then like just put in 6 cards against them, and you probably won't lose a sided match against them if you have like Medion and Apocrypha in your deck, like both of them, and then maybe even Trap Trick if you really want to go all out with it. But the problem would be playing against like the striker decks or like the trap decks, because like I would be taking out all of like my side deck cards for those decks. Like I just wouldn't have any side deck cards for those decks. So like I would probably lose a lot of those matchups because you kind of just have to focus all of your energy on, or all of your side deck space and like a lot of your main deck space on the non-trap decks and the non-striker decks.
To the guy who asked about Book of Eclipse, that's literally all you need. Like, you just Book of Eclipse in combo. There's no better card. You can
Yeah,
ask
Book of Eclipse is pretty
right?
good.
They changed the ruling, and I don't know like where it stands now.
Oh yeah, Ashing Book of Eclipse.
Yeah, Ash stops Eclipse.
Okay, well.
Oh wow, you can Ash Book of Eclipse?
Yeah.
See, nobody knows that, so they're just not gonna do it.
Well, now you know.
I still think it's just the best thing. Gabe, what does the standard Goki hand end on? So my Goki ends on Trigate, Gumbler for 6.
6.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, 6. We rip 6 cards.
Oh shit.
Well, that's if they open 2 monsters.
Yeah,
I
if they
guess.
open 2 monsters, but like against Thunder Dragons and Geist, and the only thing that doesn't open 2 monsters is Sky Striker. But what's kind of nice about the Striker matchup is that they're always gonna hand trap you. So if you continue to combo, you'll still rip 4 and try gate, which means they start with 1 card, which is cool.
Yeah.
Marjanco, did you try out some Goki at all?
Yeah, I've been playing Goki for a while. I really like the deck. I don't know, I just like the FTK more, I guess. And I actually didn't know how to like fully do the combos without Mally, and they're like at the 200th I played Hero Kit instead and tried to force it through with using the Eagle Booster, but I think Mally was a better choice after like seeing a bunch of deck lists and playing more. But yeah, for this one I just went with an FTK because I like it more. And there was just I could play through so many hand traps. Literally, the Ghost Ogre was the only one that did anything.
Yeah. Yeah, Ghost Ogre just seemed so powerful against that deck. I remember using a Ghost Ogre on Max's summon sorcerers after he just committed, because they commit so many cards. I know in Max's deck they commit a lot of cards into summon sorcerers because I know what he was doing was he was making the rank 7, getting the tokens, and then making Reaperdocus into summon sorceress, and then like after that there just like wasn't enough cards to play through ogre on summon sorceress.
See, so I just wanted to like start talking a little bit more generally now because I don't know, maybe it's just like me and my bias towards like the game or something, but I feel like now that an FTK is in the format and it's now very widespread and widely known now, everyone obviously is going to be probably trying to play this deck. How do you think that's going to affect the metagame? Like, are we going to see like some, you know, resurgence of striker with like 12 hand traps, or you know, like what happens in a situation where you have a consistent FTK?
I mean,
Yeah,
wish
I
that you
think
guys did profiles. I wish like you guys kept it hush hush, but you know,
yeah, I
that doesn't
think
happen.
striker with a lot of hand traps is like an okay choice, but then again, there's just always going to be like that side deck problem where there's just not enough space for everything in the striker deck. And also like FTKs, like we've kind of just been dealing with them since January or February at this point, since the Pendulum FTK came out, and then after that we had Goki, and then we still have Goki, and now we have another FTK. So like we kind of haven't gotten away from FTKs for like almost a year now. So um, I don't know. I don't think much is changing. They just need to get rid of Firewall. I know they're never gonna do it. They're gonna like
They're
ban
never
every
doing it.
card that Firewall enables rather than banning the enabler. But you know.
So the person who asked how do you beat them Thunder Dragons after you flip Book of Eclipse, you just kill them. You don't give them a turn, because if you give
How
a turn,
do you
draw
kill them through like 3 face down monsters?
You can unicorn.
Yeah,
can
Unicorn,
Cerberus and
Trigate.
Unicorn.
Oh yeah. Trigate can hit face downs, right?
Yep, it hits anything. So
Okay.
you just
Okay, so then yeah,
Cerberus,
that's easy.
Unicorn, and Trigate.
Yeah, that's easy. That's easy.
Um,
Did you cite anything else to out the board, or was it just the Eclipse?
I put in Impermanence because in testing I like learned that Impermanence Instant Fusion also outs Double Colossus.
I
And
see.
I was told to put in Ash in case they side in Book of Eclipse. I mean, not Book of Eclipse. I mean, what's it called? Artifact Sanctum. And I drew it as my 6th. And it like worked out really well. Apparently, I was told to just put in Ash because like they all play Desires and such.
see,
Yeah.
see when you have like an FTK like that's going to become like pretty popular now, like I really doubt it'll be like super big in Europe, obviously, because we don't have Sork. So I don't know like how relevant it'll be for us, but like I think like when you have like an FTK that can play through like hand traps and stuff, it's like really scary. But at the same time, like, does it create like a rock paper scissors style meta where like you build your deck to beat the FTK, but then you just like, you know, kind of like you fuck up like your striker mirror, or you like you start losing to like Thunder Dragon, or like what happens in those kind of scenarios?
Yeah, that's kind of like what I've been trying to fix with the striker deck, because like now like I'm maining like I'm probably going to be maining like 9 hand traps going forward. Probably like Ash, Bell, Impermanence. Those are like all of the best like blanket ones that are applicable in every matchup. But like again, they're just so average in every single matchup. But like at least they do something in every single matchup. So like I you kind of just have to resort to playing like a lot of average cards, which just isn't good. Like
I think you can
playing
also
average cards
play.
sucks.
I think you can also play Gopher and banish Firewall against the FTK. That's and same thing against Goki. I don't know. Like I know they can still Gumbler to.
You're still cutting a lot, Janko. I think what it might be is if you go in your Discord settings, there's the voice activation sensitivity.
Oh yeah, that happened to me. Where it
Yeah.
just wouldn't-
Check the settings for the sensitivity.
Back on.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think it's okay. But just go in the settings of Discord and check the sensitivity of your mic. I was actually gonna ask you a question, but I think I forgot it now. Oh yeah. So I don't know if you like want to tell us this, I guess, but what are like some of the clutch moments that you're supposed to hand trap against your deck? Like if I have like an Ash, like where's the best point there? Or like an Ogre, where's the best point there? Okay, now we can't hear you at all. You're just muted. Is it just me? Can anyone else hear him?
I can't.
I can't.
Oh.
His answer will
I
probably
know the
be
answer.
Ogre on Summon Sorcerers.
And Ash Mally.
We still
Yeah.
can't hear you, sorry. Alright, technical difficulties there. Right, so
we can't hear him.
in the meantime, while he's trying to get back with us, if there's any questions in chat, feel free to throw them out here. Tag me in the chat with your question at FarfaYGO, and I'll pass it on to our boys here as best as possible. We'll try to get through as many as possible. I think we can hear you.
I think I'm in.
All right. Are we good?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right. Sorry about that. Okay, so the best times to hand trap. I'd say Ghost Ogring, Summon Sork, definitely one of them.
Because that makes it fizzle as well, right? So like you go the summon sort can like it fizzles entirely pretty
Yeah,
much.
it doesn't point
summon
anywhere.
Okay.
It doesn't point anywhere. I would probably impermanence the Firewall's first effect to summon. That way they're left with Mermaid and an Ibli with Firewall, and the Ibli will prevent them from special summoning further, other than them having to link away into like a Link 2 and then trying to do something, which would make the rest of their turn subpar unless they have like Soul Charge, World Legacy Succession, or Monster Reborn.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd impermanence there. I'd Ghost Ogre that. I'd probably Ash Malicious when it's dumped off Armageddon Knight and then they use its summon. That's one of the things that they can easily like. I'd say Ash is probably the worst hand trap against my deck because it's just so easy to push through with all the different extenders that you have.
Wait, I actually have a question about the combo. I noticed that like in the FTK it was done a lot, but Firewall with a Cerberus pointing to it, is that done every single time?
Yeah. You
Okay,
always
so
keep...
yeah, so then you can't Ogre Firewall. You just have to use it on the Summon Sorcerers. You can't wait till Firewall to use your Ogre.
You can, but they can bounce it back, and because of the danger monsters and all the extenders that the deck has.
Well, you can't. Well, you wouldn't even be able to Ogre it because there's Cerberus pointing to it. That's kind of what
the Cerberus is made later into the combo.
Oh.
It starts exactly like a Goki combo, where you have
okay,
Mermaid, Firewall, like you go, the Firewall.
Oh, Mermaid, Firewall. Okay. So, how do you play? Wait. Well, you would just make Firewall. Oh yeah, Firewall has to be 2 there. So if you Ogre the Firewall, do you just?
You would use Firewall to bounce.
Yeah, you just bounce itself back and then try to make another one.
Yeah.
That just sounds very similar to using it on Summon Sorceress, but if Summon Sorceress gets the Malicious, then that would put you in a much tighter position.
Yeah, the Summon Sorc would get you the Blackwing, and then you can keep using the Cloak later on in the turn, and it'll just keep generating you more tokens.
Yeah, so then you definitely just want to use it on the Summon Sorceress.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad because a lot of what we're saying just like isn't relevant for like Europe, but
I know.
there's just so much stuff we're talking about that just doesn't apply to Europe at all.
Well, we're having our London FarfaCast next week for anyone interested. I'm gonna throw out some questions now from the chat. So, Gabe, do you think Goki should go back to running hand traps again?
For the FTK?
I guess just in general.
Honestly, no. Like everything's so free. No offense. Just like The FTK is like the only FTK and mirror is like the only thing you need to worry about. You never really want a hand shot otherwise. Game 1 at least.
Question here for all of you. What are your top 3 hand traps for this format?
This depends if it's in the main or the side, and like I guess kind of what deck you're playing, or
I guess let's say main deck blind.
main deck blind. I definitely think Ash, Bell, and Impermanence. Those cards are just very like they have application every single matchup. They're not necessarily like insane in any matchup, but they do something in every matchup. I think for the side deck, Gamma and Ogre are definitely the best two. Gamma especially, you just don't want it in your main deck because you're not going to go first every time. But Gamma is definitely the most powerful hand trap to stop the FTK and probably the Goki deck too.
What would you gamma?
Probably still Summon Sorceress. Or if like you use it anytime earlier in the combo. What like if I have like 2 hand traps, I'll likely use Gamma earlier, and what you do is you summon Gamma in zone 2 and you summon Driver in zone 4, so that way it blocks Summon Sorceress if they try to summon Sorceress, affect a special summon a monster to your side, so that makes it even harder for them to play through Gamma.
Janko, what's your top 3 hand traps?
I think I agree with Azad, but I really, really, really am a big fan of Reaper. I just love the amount of power that comes with that card. But I do think that Ash, Bell, and Impermanence are probably the strongest ones.
I'm thinking Reaper. I still want to like dig deeper into this, but like I was thinking like Reaper might actually not be as bad against Thunder Dragon as I thought. Because they do need the fusion. The fusion is searchable, but if they like activate the fusion, I'm thinking that like might like cut off their plays a little bit because because like the first thing they do before like making any other plays, I think they have to activate like have fusion and then activate it so that they could put all of their Colossus back, and then they can continue playing after that. But I feel like that just kind of like requires a lot. I'm not sure. I just still kind of have to think about that a little bit, but it's probably not that good against Thunder Dragon because they just have the option to just fusion all of their Colossus back and just summon Titan.
I saw someone was playing. I think it was Bowden's deck list. He was playing
He played
three
three.
Thunder Dragon fusions too.
Oh, he was playing. Oh, 3 of the fusions. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was playing 3 fusion spell.
That card's very good.
Yeah, he was playing the same list as Ryan Levine, and they played 3 fusion. I think.
Yeah, their Brilliant Fusion was really cool.
Yeah.
Because like the Garnet isn't even a Garnet. You just normal summon, make Colossus.
Gabe, your top hand traps this format?
I mean, if you're in the side, I think Cherries is the best. I think Cherriesing a Soul or Firewall is like, especially in an FTK, I think you need that because like, in all honesty, I'm gonna beat an Ogre Ash and Permanence Bell, but like, if you Cherries my Firewall, I'm kind of freestyling.
Okay.
I feel like Cherries is definitely the best.
All right.
If I were to cherry the Firewall, what's the most you could do is just like Gumblar Trigate, right?
I definitely cannot drop a Trigate.
You definitely cannot drop a Trigate.
You definitely can't drop a Trigate linked to 3. No.
Okay.
The FTK deck though, the one that I play, I'm not sure if I can. It just depends on the hand, but if you can get to the Tomahawk, you can definitely get close, very close.
I'd imagine so in your deck, but there's no way Goki can do that. I'm pretty sure you can hit Rip 4 with depending on the right hand if you get cherried on the Firewall, but like
Yeah, you'd probably need a really good hand for that.
especially against Striker. No, I don't think you really need a good hand. You would just have to link into the Gumbler, special summon literally 1 monster, and if you have the Phantomite Trap, then that's like the 4. That's all you need. Because I mean, I was taught to save the Untitled Chapter last as your extender, anyways. So.
Azad, would you still recommend Apocrypha over D-Barrier in the side for Thunder Dragon? What if Denko starts seeing more play? And do you choose to go first or second post side? So I know that Ryan's deck was blinding first, but they would search Denko, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. Because you can search Denko with the fusion spell in the grave now.
Yes, you can.
So yeah, what's your, like, how do you feel about that? And also, do you go first or second post siding against Thunder Dragon?
Yeah, so I'll address the last question first. So you always go first against that deck. I don't think you could just bank on having like Medion or Apocrypha. The reason why Apocrypha is better than D Barrier is that you don't need cards that are good going first against the deck. D Barrier is only really good going first against that deck, and even then, you can't really capitalize on D Barrier because Striker can't kill them. Striker can't kill them unless you give them the opportunity to play. So basically, like if you let them make like one or two Colossus, like you kind of just anchor them both and kill them. D Barrier also just doesn't necessarily like solve the problem because you can like flip it to negate their Colossus, but you still have to kill the Colossus. And that's just still a huge problem. And I'm curious, if you activate D Barrier and like Colossus is negated, can you anchor it?
No.
Is that no? You can't. No. So
You'd have to
I'm
burn
just
it.
not sure if that's like the same type of negation. I'm sure it is. So you wouldn't even be able to anchor it. So like you just have a very very big problem trying to kill it. Also, addressing Danko Sekka, like if they usually search Denko Sekka, so if you have like if you're going second, you'll probably just do something like summon Ray, make Hayate attack, try to get like as many spells in your graveyard, maybe even like leave your Hayate there, not even Kagari that turn, and then just set Apocrypha, and then if they search Denko Sekka, sorry, if they search Denko Sekka, you kind of just have to flip Apocrypha right there, which sucks. And then there's also the chance that they Titan on your end phase and pop your Apocrypha, so you have to set like a lot of cards. If there was more Medions, I would play more Medions. I think Apocrypha is definitely like not that good of a card, but I think you still just have to play it because it's the only other card that will address the problem. There's also cards like Lava Golem or Mind Control, and those cards also just have very, very big problems because they don't out any number of Colossus. You need cards that can out any number of Colossus. Like Lava Golem only outs exactly 2. So like if they summon 1, you still just lose. If they summon 3, you extra lose. Sphere mode suffers the same problem. So like it has to be either Apocrypha or Medion. Those are the only viable cards.
I mean, you could warning the Denko, right?
Yeah, I mean you just have to draw it, I guess.
Gabe, how do you out the Thunder Dragon board if you don't draw Eclipse in your deck?
It depends how big it is, and it depends if they have Titan with like a disruption, because like you can't really out their board if they have Titan.
I think the standard Brilliant Fusion Roar combo or something, or Sark or Solar, it's really consistent. There's like so many 2-card combos, but basically they end with like double Colossus Titan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you do in that scenario if you don't have Eclipse? I'm not sure how frequent that is, but like I believe it's fairly consistent.
Well, I did a lot of testing only against Colossus, which is how I learned to beat that. Titan, you just can't really beat. Like, they're just never gonna pop anything. You can't really bait it out because it's not like you can Cerberus pop it, right? You just sort of have to be. You just have to like take in that they made the board. You can't like do anything about it.
Okay.
There's like not much you can do about it. Unfortunately, it's just like too good of a board. Like the Colossus could be anything. It's just like a Titan that can't be targeted. Like unless you open mid breaker field, but then they can still have like if they have two disruptions, they have two disruptions, right?
Yeah, they gotta put them on better have it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think of thoughts on Swords of Concealing Light? So I think it just like loses to like a Titan pop basically is the problem there.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I definitely can't play it because like you still can't kill the monsters. Anything that doesn't like get rid of the monsters is just unplayable in Striker because like in Goki, swords might be like a better option. But in Striker, it's definitely just like unplayable. Also, a cool thing with Titan is its effect is like a paleo monster where Titan can only trigger if it responds directly to a Thunder Dragon activation. So it'll miss timing if like if they activate like a Thunder Dragon in hand with Titan on board. If you chain anything like chain Eagle Booster, chain I don't know something,
Shark Cannon and stuff.
chain Twin Twister, Shark Cannon, chain anything. They actually can't trigger the Titan. So I guess that'd be a way to, if you have like a chainable card, activate Swords of Concealing Light, just to assure that your Swords of Concealing Light goes through.
I feel like Striker's like the only deck that does that because they have so many chainable cards.
Yeah, probably.
Mm.
One of them being Widow Anchor, which if it was a Widow Anchor, then it's a non-problem anyways.
Someone
Is
suggested,
this-
sorry, go on.
To the person who asked why I played 3 Brigandine, it's just a great extender. I kind of wish I played 2 and played a second junk forward instead, but like it really didn't make that big of a difference. Just the card, it's extended.
Yeah, I realized that with my deck too. Is I ended up cutting the Brigandine down to 2 because of the danger cards that I didn't want to like have to keep it in my hand.
Wait,
just-
somebody in chat is actually saying something very interesting. Sorry, I just interrupted. You guys can continue. I'll address this in a minute.
I also play boots, so Brigandine's just searchable. So 3, I feel like 2 is just like the better number, anyways. So
Somebody just brought up Gabriel, the Time Lord, and I just read that card like 5 seconds ago, and I like, wow, this card is very good. I think that I would just, now that I read this card, so thank you for whoever just brought that up.
Is it just a better Metaion?
Yes, this actually just seems like a better Medion, and I just didn't know this card existed. Oh wow.
wait,
I'm
Tonight-
not sure it's
insane.
better than Medion.
Because it shuffles instead of bouncing, right? So you can like instead of bouncing like back row that they might have, for example, it shuffles it, right?
But then they'd get to draw cards equal to the amount that you bounce.
Yeah, but it's only bounced into the main deck. So like, if they're being bounced back to the extra deck, they just don't draw.
I guess so, yeah.
So this might just be like at equal standing with Medion.
So you could just play like 3 Metaion, 3 Gabriel instead of
Yeah,
Apocrypha.
3 Medion, 3 Gabriel. I think that is what you would do because Apocrypha just has so many like problems.
Hmm.
I thought this said you draw as many as you shuffle. I'm like, oh cool.
Yeah, no, Apocrypha just suffers like crazy problems, like
Can Gabriel
end
be
phase
ashed?
Titan Pop.
Oh, it can be ashed.
Yeah, Gabriel. I guess that's a problem with it. It can be ashed.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Ash is so bizarre, man. It just like anything that involves it just like
There's also
negates
just
it.
like also Bell. Like I'm pretty sure like. Well, no, Bell. I'm not saying Bell can negate this, but Bell just has like so many obscure things that it could be used on.
Yeah.
Like I was so iffy on putting it.
You
in
could
my
bell
main deck.
Gamma, like that blew my mind, you know.
You can do that? Oh my god, you can do that.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
it can
Yeah, see,
special
there's
summon
just
from
so
the
many like
graveyard.
obscure things that you can use it on. I think you can use it on Invocation, and even
Yeah.
if they have, wait, can you do it? No, you
Yeah, you
actually
can.
can't do it if they have Meltdown.
Yeah, you can't do it.
All right,
if
yeah.
they have meltdown.
But if it negated effects, you would be able to, because I think Meltdown only stops you from negating the activation.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna get into hypotheticals here.
All right, I think we got through as many questions as possible. I thought something cool that was interesting. What do you guys think of Necro Valley versus like citing that in
Against what?
Thunder Dragon? So like I guess the idea is like you activate Necro Valley and they can't protect their Thunder Dragons from being like they can't
That
save
would
their
just
Thunder
also
Dragons.
just have to be paired with other cards. Oh, whoa,
Well, I guess it's
that,
like your own engine cards, right? Because now you can like for example activate Necro Valley and now you can Afterburner Colossus, and they can't protect it. I guess like that's the idea.
That's interesting. I think that's more of a plan for like I think Goki would be a lot better at doing that because like I can afterburner one, sure, but like I can't afterburner three of them. They do summon three a lot. They
Yeah.
But then
summon
you
three
also
a
can't.
lot.
Just open
You
triple
wouldn't be able to
afterburner.
Kagari for the rest of the
Oh yeah,
while your Necro Valleys face up.
Yeah.
it kind of sucks for Striker.
Yeah,
Lance-
I think like if you were to side anything, like the cards that you side against Thunder Dragon shouldn't be cards that are like preventative. They should kind of be reactive, because preventative cards are really only good going first. There's no hand traps that's gonna stop them from making one Colossus. Like even if you Bell, they might still have like another way to play. Even if you have Gamma, they might still have another way to play. So siding preventative stuff that like will preemptively like try to stop them from making Colossus, that's just very unreliable. I think the more reliable route would be siding Time Lords or Apocrypha, stuff like that to just deal with the problem after it happens.
Yeah, there's like hand traps. I was at first I was also trying to like stop them from even making Colossus, and I realized that's just not possible.
Yeah, Bell and Gamma I think are the best at it because Colossus, I mean we've all read the effect of it. It requires that they activated a Thunder Dragon effect in hand. So if they go like normal summon Battery Man, send like that beast, that blue one, I don't even know what his name is.
Bestial.
And then discard Hawk. If you Bell the Hawk, Bell negates the activation, so they did not activate a Thunder Dragon monster in hand that turn, so they cannot Colossus unless they discard another Thunder Dragon.
But then they can just discard like a Thunder Dragon, which they play three.
Yeah,
of.
yeah,
Bestial,
they
a
can.
dark, like
Yeah, they can, but they have to have it. I'm just saying like that's
Because
like
they are
one
all hard
way
ones
to,
per
like-
turns.
Yeah, that's why I also brought up that like the cards that you would try to use like preemptively to stop them from making Colossus in the first place, they're unreliable. Like they can get there sometimes, like if their hand isn't that powerful, but it's a lot better to just side reactive cards like Medion or I guess Gabriel. Yeah,
Gabe,
I think those are way better.
there was something asked me to address this about you before we even started. Actually, I forgot to bring it up. Something about draw 6 incident.
yeah, it's so so stupid. I drew 6 and I put the 6 card back. Oh no, big cheater.
Oh,
That's
I
what
assumed it was
happened.
something to do with the nightmares or something. Oh, so you just drew 6
Oh
instead
no,
of.
I started my turn with 6 and I put the 6 card back and I continued playing.
Oh, okay. Were some people like? Did some people spread some shit about that? I guess or.
No, even like I was like perfectly fine. Like even my opponent had no problem with it. Like neither of us saw the card. It was the person beside me actually who like thought I like drew 6 and like cheated or something, and he just like started shit with me online. It was really weird.
They always wait until they're back home.
Exactly. I'm like, Will, why did you say anything when you were beside me, dude?
All right.
Okay, cool.
Um.
It wasn't like any big deal, really.
Okay, fair enough. I think I've got through every one of the kind of big questions there. It's a shame that we didn't have Ryan with us tonight. Happy birthday to him. He's doing big boy things. So
Yeah, happy birthday, Ryan.
Happy birthday, Ryan. We love you.
he played the Thunder Dragons, and he'll be able to give us his expert opinion on it perhaps tomorrow evening. So tune in then. Do you guys have any final comments or anything to share before we wrap it up?
I just want to tell Blank Canvas that Mind Drain is 100% unplayable because it is not reactive.
There you go. Anyone else?
Goki, that's
I just wanted to thank you for having me on here. It was a pleasure being able to speak and speak my mind about my deck and
For the most part,
everything
yeah.
else.
Yeah, what he said, what he
Of course.
said.
Awesome. Gabe, you have some spurgy friends, man. I swear to God, like they were going crazy in chat.
Yeah, my friends are suspect as shit. I love them though.
All right.
I swear I'm straight. I swear.
So that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you to all of the boys here who joined us. And yeah, hopefully you'll be seeing them in an event near you. FarfaCast will be back next week with pretty much the same deal as today, except it's going to be the European version with London coming up this weekend. I'll be attending as well. So if you're there, feel free to say hi, etc., etc. Thanks. Marjanco,
All right.
Azad, and Gabriel signing out.
Amazing.